Hi, hello, I'm Mina the Mouse, and welcome back to Tavern Talk! We're just jumping straight into chapter 10, called Twin Flames. We're expecting Melly and John? Malachite? Blaze? Sophia back soon? But oh, there's Jade. Hello, innkeeper. Hello! It's been a while since I've seen you around. A whole week, to be exact. And you already miss me? A little? You're pretty cool. Cute. I got my hands on a job, all the way over in Diarrhea. It seemed like something relatively easy, but well paid. Oh, like something too good to be true? Not this time. Apparently the farmer just wanted it to be done quickly, so she offered a higher than average rate. Sounds like easy money. Yeah, I wish. I think I could use a drink first. Something that'll bring back my usual speed and agility. I feel like this job drained me of all my energy. Only if I get to hear the rest of the story. Sounds like a good deal. I also kind of need to know what his name is, because or her name, because I just need to. I think that's very valid, very important information. Well, it seems like the easiest thing to make would be a swift strike. I'm just gonna do that. Defense, intelligence, agility. Ta-da! First drink of the day! Let's hope this suits your tastes. Your drinks never disappoint. Glad to hear that. I can definitely feel my senses coming back to me. I made you a drink. Now it's your turn. Tell me about your latest job. Fine. A deal's a deal. I told you the client's a farmer, right? She has a large flock of two-headed sheep. Apparently, that darn starfall damaged their barn, and they somehow managed to break out of their enclosure. Didn't think they'd be that clever, honestly. Must be two. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Must be the two brains. Probably. Anyways, they got out right before their shearing appointment. And of course the farmer needed to get them back in time. Especially considering the rumors surrounding Diarrhea at the moment. Seem to be a dangerous place nowadays. Apparently an unusual amount of cattle have been going missing these last weeks. So local folks have been keeping a closer eye on their flocks and fences. Oh. Of course, the farmer wanted her sheep to be safe, so she hired someone to bring her animals back. And that someone being you? Obviously. I thought to myself, I'm a monster hunter. Handling animals is basically my job. I'd say Monster Hunter is rather known for, well, hunting instead of handling. It's not as much carrying around as just eliminating on the spot. That was exactly the issue. Do you know how stubborn two-headed sheep are? Well, let me guess. They're twice as stubborn as a one-headed sheep? You got it. They're impossible to get moving, impossible to startle. And one head might be eating, but the other one is always watching you. But you did it right. I suspect you wouldn't be here if you hadn't finished the job. You are absolutely correct. I was at my wit's end. Imagine having fought hundreds of thousands of beasts, and some sheep are the one enemy you can't win against. Ooh, that sounds like an incredibly humbling experience. It was, trust me. But luckily I got some help. Another adventurer saw me struggling and offered her assistance and knowledge. Or should I say, a retired adventurer. Oh, I'm intrigued. Yeah, she was insistent on that label. Some kind of astral finfolk. Oh, must have lost her arm a while ago. Oh no. Back to the sheep. She told me there's apparently one thing that gets their full attention. You got any guess on what that magical tool might be? I have no... Oh! Clovers! Morning dew clovers, to be precise. They go absolutely feral for them. A few will make them follow every single one of your commands. But someone with your expertise should know that, innkeeper. Do you two know each other? Barely. I do? Keep your secrets then, oh so mysterious innkeeper. I wanted to buy her a drink after she helped me out back there. Didn't expect you two to be best friends, honestly. Best friends? I think you got that one wrong, Jade. I'd never befriend someone like her. I have taste. Ouch. Well, that was unnecessarily rude of you, Una. You didn't even consider my feelings. Consider me sorry, innkeep. Apology accepted. I don't know if I do, but sure. Speaking of taste, what about your drinks? I know you've always liked experimenting with potions and other suspicious liquids. Don't say it like that. Una, you need to work on your phrasing and your selection of words, please. Looks like you finally made it, huh? Indeed. I think I got the hang of it. What are you waiting for? Your old rival is waiting for a drink. It's my rival? Preferably one that will restore my energy. Those shape made my old bones all wobbly, and I don't like feeling so weak. Got you. Let's see what that old magic has to offer. Don't worry, she might not like it, but her drinks... She may not look like it, but her drinks are actually really good. I bet. But just take that as a compliment, I suppose. Wow, I'm catching a lot of... Like... This... Okay, I'm just gonna make a Southern Brawler. That seems easy enough. It's not like she's going on an adventure, I think. I don't know. But that's just very simple to make. There. Southern Brawler! For Una! Oh, wow! Impressed? Don't get cocky now. You don't have to be shy. You can just admit I've improved. So, Una, Jake told me you're retired now? Had enough of the adventuring business? Absolutely. I don't want to have anything to do with that anymore. I've completed enough quests for at least 2 lifetimes. And yet you decided to help Jade. Ever had to handle 2-headed sheep? Not yet. Lucky you. Lucky indeed. I just couldn't watch her struggle with those stubborn beasts any longer. But this was a one-time exception. Did the farmer pay accordingly after your morning dew clover's magic trick? Oh, absolutely. She was so happy and she gratefully paid both of us. That's good to hear. She even tipped us some gems she supposedly found in one of her fields. But I'm a miter. I don't have any use for stones like those. And since I'm retired, I couldn't care less about material riches. So we figured we'd give them to you instead. Ooh! But I wouldn't tell that pretentious blonde dragon priestess if I were you. Feels like a blasphemous gift. Nice. Ooh, divine gems. A little blasphemous indeed. I think I know just the right way to use them. Thank you. Don't mention it. Now that we're done here, I can finally go back to crocheting. For the rest of my life. Didn't get this hook put in for nothing. Of course, I also occasionally gotta rip some youngsters off while playing cards. Haven't lost a game in at least 4 decades. That's remarkable. Or impossible for someone who's only playing fair. I think your lucky streak will come to an end with me today. I have also never lost a game in at least a decade. Are you challenging me to a duel? Absolutely. And whoever loses has to pay for the next round of drinks. That's the spirit. I like you, bounty hunter. But don't come crying to me after I annihilate you. You wish. Jade, be on guard. You worried about me? Cute. I just know for a fact that Una is a master at cheating. I doubt that's changed. I mean, she's my old rival. And maybe... Am I as old as Una? I'm very like the character I'm very interested in knowing is myself. That's kind of a weird feeling to have. So, you're saying you've lost against her? More than once. Yes. Pathetic. Hey, are you talking about me? Listen, Innkeep, if your opponent's obviously cheating like she was, you can't beat them fair and square. You gotta beat them at cheating. Now watch how a real master does it. Oh, you two. Duke it off to the ultimate. Oh! Oh my god! He's amazing! I love his character design. G'day! I have returned, Innkeeper. Welcome back, Miss Anvar. And welcome... This brave adventurer's name is Claymore. He offered unexpected support during my quest. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much on behalf of... the world. Yes, of course, the world. Mr. Clay. Oh, you don't have to do the whole Mr. thing. Just Clay is alright with me. Otherwise, it sounds so formal. Like talking to one of those graph people. Oh, you wouldn't want to be one of those. Clay it is then. Clay it is then. Can I offer you both a drink in exchange for the story of how you two met? That would be a fun treat. Right, Tia? I think I would welcome it as well. Then what can I get you? Clay, please go ahead. Oh my, you got a lot of stuff on the menu. Oh my god, is your shoulder telling you what to order? Or does he also want a drink? How about one of those drinks with the ingredients? You look strong, so how about something extra for those muscles? That sounds nice. Let's go with that. 1 minute! Well, that's so nice that Eleithyia made a friend. I guess that unless I'm feeling really like it, I think if it's just quote unquote story time or something, then I'm just gonna make these simple drinks. It seems easier. Southern Brawler for the big fella. Try this. I think it might knock your socks off. This tastes strong and magic-y, but my socks are still on. Still, I love it. I have to remember this one for next time. What is it called? Don't worry, I'll remember it for you. Thank you. Now, Miss Anvar, what would you like? I need something... I need some of that liquid vigilance. Even here, it's important to stay on guard. Wouldn't this be the right time to relax? There's no such time. All right, then I shall aid you on your divine mission of not falling asleep standing. Oh. Froster Lagoon. That's 1 charisma, 1 strength, and 3 of defense. Some liquid vigilance diluted with some delicious secret ingredients. Enjoy! I could do with something less diluted, but you're right, it's delicious. Happy to hear that. Do we get to tell the story now? Please, go ahead. You think I should start with the seashells? No, I think some exposition is in order first. As you already know, Innkeeper, I plan to start my investigation right here in Zenith, specifically at the local Gaia Temple. So I've been told. Mostly about that wobbling ooze. Ah, yes. That was certainly something. Unfortunately, besides the fascinating personal secrets, they had nothing of value to share with me. But fortunately, thanks to your rumors, I was not entirely without a lead. There's a wizard's prophecy. The wizard's prophecy led me to Dalvale. Or should I say, the Abandoned Isle. Or Feyweather. The name changes depending on who you ask. I didn't know it had so many names. I always just called it the Kelpie Island. Why? Because it's shaped like one. Probably the smartest approach. Kelpie Island, or Fairweather. Its name means very little to me, as the local settlement of Fae was much more relevant. They built everything into the giant sequoia that holds their portal to Avalon. The portal is in the tree? Yes, right in the center. They call it the Horizon Tree. It's beautiful. The Fae themselves were moderately helpful. It was difficult to get them to focus on the severity of the situation. And I was pretty sure they were preparing for some sort of morbid ritual with the acorns that they were stringing up between rose bushes in asymmetrical shapes. Oh, I always thought there was art projects. Common misconception. It sounds more like they were preparing to charge them with astral moonlight. For what? If you freeze them, they make for good ice cubes. Do you participate in such practices? Not at the moment. I ain't gonna say it. If it was true, I'm a little afraid of you. I'm just not going to answer that question. I'm not gonna question that. Eventually, I gathered to sit still long enough to ask them about any strange occurrences around the settlement. Did they understand your definition of strange? After some explanation, They told me about how recently an astral humpback whale had rampaged through one of their nearby scouting camps, just 2 days before the stars fell. They said it seemed like it was running from something, and that it was full of seething fury. They also claimed it to be a good sign, because it promised adventure. Well, they weren't wrong. She's right. It led us on an adventure. But I don't know if they had hoped it would wipe out the entire night sky. No one would hope for that. Well, someone clearly did. They weren't wrong about it being a sign of change of pace, is all I'm saying. The exact definition is subject to personal convictions. It certainly was a sign of something being awry, and I was determined to get to the bottom of it. So naturally, I made my way to the nearby Carapace beach and prepared a celestial summoning ritual under the young astral moon. For the humpback whale, I suppose? What else would I be summoning? I thought you maybe want to ask Kachibaya for her input. Are you out of your mind? The real keepers have sworn a divine oath of neutrality that prevents them from directly interfering with the civil world of us mortals. The full might of their powers could disrupt the delicate balance of their cosmic design. Right. Sorry. Slipped my mind. You are forgiven. As I was preparing the ritual, readying myself to confront the troublemaker, I suddenly found myself interrupted by a strange request. That was me. I asked if you needed any more seashells. Did you? I did, actually. Pairing dragon head tritons and flimmering limpet shells can heighten the dual aspect of the celestial twins, therefore making the connection to the astral sea more stable. Obviously. I hadn't managed to find a limpet shell, and one happened to be among his offerings. I honestly just thought you was decorated the beach so that you could do with more color. Went wrong in a way. Sadly, the shoes burned up during the ritual. Singed Tia's hands too. Oh no. Just a little. Fortunately, I possess spectacular healing capabilities. Fortunate indeed. You will collect seashells for beach decoration or your own ritual clay. I always collected them for my friends. At this time of year, Kelpie Island is full of all kinds of sparkling floating animals from the astral sea. And they love munching on seashells. Do you encounter those creatures a lot? I try to. They're very nice. Clay can talk to animals. Gaia's blessing rests upon him. Fantastic. It is. Though I'm not always sure they're talking to me. They tend to disappear sooner or later. Sometimes they come back, but often they don't. I think maybe I accidentally say something that upsets them without realizing it. And they think I mean to hurt them. I hate it when that happens. I hate it. You mean they just disappear when they were never there? Yes, like they moved to a different, quieter beach. Or like they returned to the astral sea. I felt like they would tell me if they went back home. Not necessarily. Many Astrian creatures can traverse planes at will, but they don't always have control over when they return. On many occasions, the astral currents pull them back home before they're ready. And once you're swept up in them, each subsequent journey becomes more and more difficult. Or so I've been told. I would guess your friends either went home when you weren't there or got pulled back before they had a chance to say goodbye. So you're saying the sea's one of them? Not quite. It just beckoned them home, through a celestial hug of sorts. That means you could visit them in the astral sea? That would be an incredible undertaking. Traveling between planes is quite hazardous. It is? But the echoes from the primordial sea and my family has lived there. Quite a while, I think. They must have gone there somehow. They say it was much similar to reverse the planes once. But for a long time, it has been almost impossible without complicated or dangerous rituals. Until recently, the astral sea was the only possible way through the barriers. And accessing it required meticulous planning. Not to mention the sea tends to come with more risk than rewards. Even your Astrian friends, who can choose to leave their home plane at a whim, get pulled back to the currents eventually. Imagine what would happen to you if you went in unprepared. But the Fae on Cape Island aren't from Gaia either. They've told me they haven't lived here for very long. Since the 5 interplanar portals opened, interplanar travel has become a lot more accessible again. At least when it comes to the dream planes. But even the astral and primordial seas, not to mention have finally opened to us again after all these years. It is a true miracle to witness in our lifetimes. So the portals haven't always been there? I didn't know that. Who put them there? Well, that's a very good question. And one that would blow the scope of this conversation beyond its bounds, I would think. You still have to tell me how you summoned that whale. You're right, we're getting off track. As Clay and I talked, he told me about his fascinating friendship with the astral creatures. and his ability to speak with animals as if they share a language. So you asked him for help? Well, he offered his aid. I certainly could have handled it on my own, but you didn't have to. Right, that, obviously. Thank you very much, Clay. Anytime. So I summoned it. The ritual worked exceptionally well, and it appeared out of the sky in a wave of concerning darkness. Starshoots accompanied them. I mean, there was one star. There was. The whale was even bigger than I had anticipated, almost as tall as the horizon tree. And its stomach rested a giant sun, the only star of the night sky whose light had not been extinguished, nestled right in its belly. Sounds beautiful. It was, in a way. The star wasn't the thing to worry about, though. The whale didn't look at all happy about being summoned. Instead, it looked like a wounded animal that was one loud noise away from lashing out. And it looked sick. Its translucent skin was grey, like it was frozen with the coldness of the highest mountain or the deepest depths. Its eyes were pale, almost blind, with no warmth within them. I thought for a brief second we must fight this beast before it consumes us and everything in its path. But when I looked over at Clay, I saw a deep understanding in his eyes, like he wasn't even seeing a monster, but a friend. I stayed quiet, knowing that wherever he knew awaited my fear. You knew what it needed, Clay? Not completely, but I knew that look in his eyes. That feeling when you're so scared you get angry, when you want to fight because you're terrified you won't be able to flee. So I kneeled to show that I didn't mean any harm, and I held out my last conch shell in my hands. It took a moment to overcome the instinct to mistrust, but then I picked the shell up gently and ate it. I saw the conch freeze as it was swallowed. It looked painful. Wanting to comfort the whale, I reached out and carefully put my hands against its cheek. I wanted it to know it wasn't alone. I'm sure it needed that. It did. It was so sad it cried tears of golden dust. Its tears turned to ice before it even hit the ground. It was that moment I realized its body had been cursed with the potent frostbite. I knew it did not trust me yet, so I did what I previously have not thought possible. Through a hand on Clay's center and the magic of your drink, I was able to briefly transfer my magic onto Claire, allowing him to cure it of its disease. He kissed it on its forehead and the ice burned away, bringing it from the endless chill. It was quite sweet. That's one lucky whale. And one unusual effect of that infusion. It's not usually possible? Inspiration is a fickle thing. Such magic is deeply personal and differs from person to person. I always enjoy seeing how others imagine support to look like. Tia's support was very helpful. I'd hope so. Okay. I think we'll have to know the rest of the story in the next episode. See you around. Bye bye.